Flave City family, what is up? It is Art and Bobby in the kitchen to do a fall-inspired, healthy and delicious meal prep and recipe, and we're stoked. We're actually very excited because I haven't done a meal prep recipe video in probably over a year. And this video, by the way, was sponsored by Vitamix. They have a new immersion blender that just came out, so I figured check out the menu. We're gonna do a roasted butternut squash soup, a one-pot wonder that tastes fantastic, and pair it with a kale, cauliflower, and wild rice salad with some of that leftover butternut squash, topped with a juicy chicken breast. It's about as easy as they get, and now that it's getting cold out, this is the kind of food you want to eat. It's going to last you about 3 days, and you're not going to have to worry about what you're going to make the next day because this food is going to be in your fridge and waiting for you. Before we get rocking and rolling, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share, my friends. We have about 7 videos going live every week, including the live stream cooking demos. You're going to want to subscribe. You're going to want to hit the bell icon below the video because we have so much content going live. You want that push on your device. We also enabled channel memberships recently, so check that out. And like I said, this video was sponsored by Vitamix. We know Vitamix. It's almost a 100-year-old company. They make blending equipment that makes you and me, all the home cooks out there, able to make healthy, delicious meals at home. But now, for the first time ever, they have an immersion blender. This is a fantastic product because I've needed something like this in my life. The one I've had up until now is never powerful enough, and it always scratches the bottom of my beautiful soup pot. This solves all those problems. It's got 5 variable speeds and a 4-pronged blade that makes it very easy to blend and get a nice texture. It's got this bell guard on the bottom, and that prevents you from scratching the bottom of your pot. And the one-handed operation leaves your other hand free to season or add stuff to the pot. And most importantly, it's powerful. When you crank this immersion blender all the way up, it gives you that power, that speed that you're used to when you use a blender from Vitamix, but in the handheld form. I love it because right now we're in the heart of soups and stews and sauces and chili season, and this is what you want for easy, healthy cooking. And it's super easy to clean because it pops out. You just run it under hot soapy water, sometimes give it a buzz in that hot soapy water, and it's done. Check one out. It just came out. I'll put the link down below in the description box. Also check out the Vitamix YouTube channel. They have a ton of tutorials and videos there. Now let's get started on cooking. All right, let's start the roasted butternut squash soup with a couple glugs of olive oil in my soup pot, and then go in with onions, celery, and carrots, along with half a teaspoon of unrefined salt and a few cracks of black pepper. I think one of the keys to building massive flavor in this dish is to really cook the veggies down about 15 minutes to evaporate all the moisture in them and bring out their natural sweetness. It's talking about natural sweetness. Here's the star of the show, roasted butternut squash. I roasted these in a 450-degree oven before we started because some people like to just cube these, toss it in the broth or the stock, and let it boil. But by roasting them at a very high temperature, look what happens. You get nice caramelized, almost semi-burnt pieces, and that brings a really nutty, sweet, kind of complex flavor to the party. So all I did was cube up 1 large butternut squash, tossed it with avocado oil, salt, and pepper, put it on the sheet tray, and roast it for 35 minutes, and then kick the broiler on for the last 5 minutes, and then it's done. Veggies are looking nice. Now is the time we add 4 cloves of garlic that are finely minced. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes total, and that's what I'm talking about. See how soft and jammy the veggies are? That's exactly what you want. Now for a little bit of heat, I'll shake in some red pepper flakes. Add some apple cider vinegar to cut through the richness of the squash. A little maple syrup to reinforce those fall flavors. And then chop some fresh sage leaves. Add them to the pot. And then add most of the roasted butternut squash. And then add some beef bone broth, about 2 quarts. Make sure you save some of the butternut squash for that salad later on. And I really think bone broth is the perfect liquid for this recipe. Go ahead and season with salt and pepper because it has all that yummy collagen and gelatin in there, which is not only good for you, it adds a nice body to the soup. If you wanted to keep it vegetarian, just use a really good veggie stock. So I'm going to bring that to a boil and then reduce it to a simmer, slap on the lid, let it bubble away for 30 minutes, and then we'll move on to the kale and wild rice salad. Okay, for the fall kale and cauliflower and wild rice salad, I put some organic lacinato or black kale in here, along with homemade riced cauliflower. This is one of those recipes when you don't want to use frozen cauliflower rice. Either box grate it yourself or toss it in the blender. It's going to have a better texture. And then I love wild rice. And if you saw my haul the other week, you know I love pre-cooked packets of wild rice. You guys know what video I'm talking about. This is one of those. Why do I love it? Because it has all the fiber and the protein in here. So go ahead and add about a cup. And then chop up some dried cherries, or just use some raisins. And then toss in some pumpkin seeds. And go ahead and add 1/3 cup of mayonnaise to a bowl, along with 1.5 teaspoons of stone ground mustard, a couple teaspoons of maple syrup, add the juice of 1 lemon, a little shot of tamari soy sauce, just to bring some fermented umami, pinch of salt, a few cracks of black pepper, and then mix it up. Give it a taste. Ooh, that's good. Super, super tangy, but then sweet and creamy. That's fantastic. And because our salad is super hearty with the kale and the cauliflower, we can dress it ahead of time. And it's gonna be good for 1 to 2, even 3 days. But if you want, you can wait and dress it each day, but you're gonna love it either way. Let's go ahead and put the remaining squash in the salad. And then always season your salad with just a little bit of salt, because all that kale and cauliflower is bland. And then crack in some pepper. Pour the dressing around the outside of the bowl. And then give it a good mix up. All right, that looks nice. Let's check it for seasoning. The dressing is perfectly acidic, but the bites of squash in there are lovely. Now we need some protein, right? This is veggie based. Our soup is veggie based. Let's cook some chicken breast in a hot cast iron pan. Now we're done. Let's season the chicken with a generous pinch of unrefined salt, a couple cracks of pepper, a little dusting of smoked paprika, and some dried turmeric for color. Add a tablespoon or so of avocado oil to the pan, and add the chicken to the pan. Just give it a little press so it makes good contact. And then hit the other side with some more salt, pepper, smoked paprika, and turmeric. Go down with the splatter guard to minimize the mess. Now you notice my chicken breasts, which by the way are pasture raised, are not too thick and not too big. We have a whole video about how to cook the perfect chicken breast, but you want one that's relatively thin. So if you happen to buy one that's very thick, just pound it thinner. It cooks way more evenly and gives it more surface area. I think it's super crusty. So I'll give that about 3 to 4 minutes, then we'll flip it. Let's flip the chicken. Nice crust. Spices are really searing into the crust, which is nice. I'm gonna turn the heat down to medium and let them go for just another 2 minutes. Let's get the small chicken tenders out of the pan. These 2 pieces are done. That looks really nice on both sides. Okay, let's get that out. Let's cover our chicken with tin foil. You don't want to cut into that for a good 5 or 6 minutes so the juices redistribute. And we can get back to the star of the recipe here, the soup. It's been bubbling away for 30 minutes. Check it out. This is going to be a sight of sheer beauty. All of the squash and the vegetables are really soft. The flavors have infused beautifully. Now we'll take the Vitamix Immersion Blender and just puree the soup until it's super creamy. But come on, the texture of that soup, it's like we dropped a whole stick of butter in there or like a cup of cream, but we didn't. We just had that natural creaminess of the squash. Let's try that soup for seasoning. That is delicious. It's like Thanksgiving in a pot. It does need a little pinch of salt though, which is usually the case. And then it's done, and we can chop up the chicken and try our meal prep. Look at the texture of that soup. That is pure silk. Let's get a ladle full of that. Fill up a bowl. Drizzle of really good extra virgin olive oil. And take some of our kale, cauliflower rice, and wild rice salad. And we'll slice some of our chicken breast here. I love the color of the crust thanks to the turmeric and the smoked paprika. And you can see because we cooked it kind of fast and furious, the inside is super duper juicy. And put the chicken on top of the salad and just a little squeeze of lemon juice on top. So there it is, my friends, healthy fall meal prep, roasted butternut squash soup. and that kale, wild rice, and cauliflower rice salad with that creamy maple dressing. This is the kind of food you want to eat when the weather gets cold. Oh, as good as that soup is now, it gets better on the second and third day. Can't wait to finish this video because Art and everyone wants to crush this. That's how you cook a chicken breast. Nice and crusty on the outside, juicy on the inside, and the rice is absolutely full of flavor. And all this stuff is going to last you for 3 days. So, recipes, all that good stuff is down below in the description box. Once again, thanks to Vitamix for sponsoring this video. Check out their brand new Vitamix Immersion Blender. The link is down below in the description box, and I hope you guys make this. Tag me on social media when you do. If you have any other recipe ideas for the fall, you let me know. Also, 2 more videos are going below us right now. But for Art, for Rose, for Desi, for Kara, for all of us, we leave you like we always do. Hashtag keep on cooking. Mad love and peace. Later, guys.